Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
We begin with new information tonight. 4 boys are facing possible charges in juvenile court after bringing knives to school. Thank you for joining us. We started asking questions of police and the school district after parents contacted us last night saying they were never notified. Yesterday, Fargo police were called to Discovery Middle School to help and confiscated 4 folding pocket knives from the 4 boys. The rest of the school had to shelter in place, which requires all students to stay in their classrooms. One of the boys cut his finger with the knife in the bathroom and was given medical attention. School and police officials say no direct threat was made to other students, but concerned parents say they want to know why they weren't kept in the loop about what was going on. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop has been investigating why the district didn't alert parents nearly 24 hours ago.
Several Discovery Middle School parents were surprised to hear from their children about police being called to their school on Thursday. One Fargo mother who feared retaliation from the school did not want to be identified.
I came home from work and my child told me that there were police at the school and that there was a child that showed up to school with a knife and a hit list.
The mother says at parent-teacher conferences that evening, she asked about the incident and why a shelter-in-place procedure happened.
I asked the teachers yesterday and they told me they knew nothing about it. They didn't know why they were put into shutdown or lockdown. I asked an assistant principal and she said that the school needed to release the information.
Fargo Public Schools declined to speak with us on camera, but spokesperson Anne-Marie Campbell tells Valley News Live that there was no threat to students and no hit list involved. Campbell says the shelter-in-place procedure happen often for all kinds of situations and are different from lockdowns. But parents still want to know why they weren't informed that a weapon was brought into the school.
That parents should be notified. In the past with elementary school, if anything happened at the school, we were always given an automated phone call in the evening explaining exactly what happened and how they handled the situation.
Now, district officials say that notifications were not sent out because they don't typically do that for shelter-in-place procedures, and that the principal did not deem it necessary. Now, after this afternoon, parents did receive phone calls, and after we started investigating. In South Fargo, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
All right, Ashley, thank you for that. The 4 boys involved in the incident were referred to juvenile court for a charge that's called disturbance of a school. According to police, that charge is similar to a disorderly conduct. Parents contacted our Whistleblower Hotline with their concerns about school safety. And if you ever need help with something in your community, give us a call, 701-237-6576. Bemidji police are searching for a woman they believe is involved in a check fraud case. They posted these pictures of the woman on their Facebook page. We took a call from Mike Hazley, who says it was his wife's checkbook that was stolen sometime during the last week of September. Hazley says the woman in question has already written out more than $5,200 in bad checks. Bemidji police have not confirmed that high of an amount, but they did confirm the monetary amount is significant. If you have any information, you're asked to contact police. A Crookston, Minnesota woman is being held in the Clay County Jail in connection with the theft of $22,000 during 2 recent bank robberies in Grand Forks. Charlene Corona was arrested during a traffic stop in Moorhead. She was on a list of possible suspects following numerous tips by the public. Corona faces 2 counts of robbery and 2 counts of terrorizing. It's alleged that she threatened employees with a knife at one of the robberies and with a gun at the other one. $4,100 was taken from Bremer Bank. $18,000 was taken during the Citizens Credit Union robbery. Corona remains in the Clay County Jail awaiting extradition to Grand Forks. And she has a prior criminal history that includes forgery, possession of heroin, and illegal use of a credit card. Our evening is turning out to be sunny, but a little chilly. And all those Bison tailgaters who are setting up shop either tonight or planning to head out tomorrow morning, they're watching the weather, as always. So let's find out what they'll be dealing with. Hutch?
Thanks so much. This morning, temperatures dip down into the teens and low 20s. Very cold. And because we started at such a cool temperature, we did not get too warm today. A lot of 40s across western Minnesota, low 50s for now in the eastern third of North Dakota, and a little bit of snow in southern Canada. That stays away from us for this evening. Wind will remain light. Temperatures fall quickly through the 40s. We'll be in the 30s. It's going to be another cold one for tailgaters first thing in the morning. Briefly, we will have 20s, but it gets better. I'll have details on a warm-up coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch. A man is in jail this morning after leading Grand Forks police on a chase with a child in the car. Officers tried to pull over Joshua Bruce just after midnight. Police say he led them through a north side neighborhood at a low rate of speed for about 15 minutes, then finally stopped in an alley. A 3-year-old boy was found in the car with Bruce. Bruce was arrested for child neglect, reckless driving, and driving under suspension. Maxing out your credit cards, making late payments, or missing payments altogether. All things we know can negatively affect a credit score. Tonight, there's word that posting on Facebook or Twitter can also hurt. Recent reports say some major credit scoring companies are exploring new ways of judging if you can handle that loan, house, or new car.
I think about who's gonna see it and my future. You could not get a job potentially because of something you post. Technology is gonna go that way. It's gonna have to be acceptable. It's gonna happen.
Valley News Team's Nicole Johnson will show us what you can do to protect yourself coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. 32nd Avenue in Fargo between 45th Street and Veterans Boulevard is now open. 3 lanes have been added along with a turning lane. Development in that part of Fargo and West Fargo is creating long traffic lines at times. The new lanes will provide easier access to housing and businesses and to entertainment venues in the area, like the Shields Center. Still to be opened is the stretch of 32nd Avenue from Veterans Boulevard to Cheyenne Street. That is expected to be completed soon. National Hispanic Heritage Month has wrapped up, but there are still some people locally trying to raise awareness. Concordia College is hosting events now through next week. Tonight, there's a Latin dance. Monday, a panel of professionals will discuss the importance of Spanish language in the job market. And a play will be performed next week by students. More than 50.5 million people in the U.S. have a Hispanic origin, which could be from anywhere like Mexico to Puerto Rico to South America.
Every day is an opportunity to learn more, and every day is an opportunity to explore a different culture. So this is just one opportunity to kind of really learn about things. But I would encourage everyone to, kind of watch a Spanish TV show once in a while or learn more about it.
For more on the events, there's a link to Concordia's page under the hot button at valleynewslive.com. There's another big-name music act headed to the Valley. Country star Jason Aldean will bring his We Were Here tour to the Alerus Center in Grand Forks. Aldean will be there on Thursday, January 28th. Tickets for the concert go on sale a week from today on October 23rd. This is the second time Aldean has played at the Alerus. Opening acts include Thomas Rhett and 1,000 Horses. Science fiction and pop culture lovers are headed into a weekend that's all about them. ValleyCon is the longest-running, most attended, largest festival of popular culture between Minneapolis and Seattle. ValleyCon is today, tomorrow, and Sunday at the Baymont Inn and Suites in Fargo and features sci-fi, fantasy, horror, comics, gaming, film, and TV. For more information on hours and ticket prices, head to valleynewslive.com and click on the hot button. And of course, don't forget, Valley News Live is your Bison station. Be sure and tune in to our Farmers Union Insurance Bison Football pregame show at 1:30 on KVLY tomorrow afternoon. We'll break down the Bison and Coyotes game prior to the 2:30 kickoff from the Fargo Dome. And stay tuned to KVLY because we'll be broadcasting the entire game live. A game that's big for the Bison as they look to remain undefeated in Valley play. What you should think about before signing up for in-store credit cards. That's coming up.
And we have 40s and 50s heading into our evening across Minnesota and the western Dakotas, but there's warmth out to the west that will try to arrive. I'll have details on when it gets here next.